Good morning, distance learners. We are back for day 6 of distance learning, and we are into week 2. So if we got through week 1, we'll get through week 2 and 3. So we're almost back together. Okay, today we're going to be kind of going back. We were talking a lot last week about statistical measures, and we're going to be using that today to do some more problems. So I have a scenario here that the table that we see shows the number of minutes a student will spend drawing each day for 6 days. The first day they draw 20, the second day they draw 8, and so on. So this is going to kind of be our information for that whole open response question. So we're going to keep referring to this table. Okay, based on the table, what is the median number of minutes the student spent drawing each day for the 6 days? So as you guys remember, last week when we talked about median, it's the middle number. Let's make some notes up here. It's the middle. And we need to put numbers in order first. And then find the middle. All right, so let's take a look. Our smallest is 8. Then would come 15. Then 16. Then 20. Then 40. Then 45. So those are all of our values, and I'm making sure that I have them all. And now we're going to find the middle. So 16 and 20 is in the middle, which would be if you add them together and then divide by 2. So add and then divide by 2 would be 36 divided by 2 would be 18. So the median, if I wanted to write a race statement, is 18. This is because if you find the middle, you get 16 and 20. You add to get 36, then divide by 2 to, hold on, let me move that, to get 18. All right, so again, median is the middle number. We already talked about this last week. You put the numbers in order, you find the middle. If there's 2 in the middle, you add them and divide by 2, just like we did here. All right, based on the table, what is the mode of the number of minutes the student spent drawing? So the mode is the number that appears the most. Okay, so I'm looking here. So I'm going to look for any numbers any numbers that show more than once. And I am actually not seeing any here. So there would be no mode all show up the same amount of times because there's no numbers that repeat each other. Okay, so the mode number of minutes is, actually, well, that's not how we're going to restate it. We're going to say there is no mode. This is because no number appears more than the others. If you wanted to, you could say they all appear once. And I can't fit it right here, but then we would say, therefore, there is no mode, because all of the numbers show up the same amount of times, as you can see. All right, let's keep going. Based on the table, what is the mean number of minutes the students spend drawing each day? So we know that mean is the average, and we find that by adding all the numbers, and like we did last week on last Friday, and then divide by the number added. So we're going to add all these numbers together. First, let's chunk them a little bit. 20 and 8 would be 28. 16 and 40 would be 56. And then 15 and 45 would be 60. 28 and 60 would be 88. And then plus 56, 8 and 6 is 14. 9 and 5 would also be, so all added together is 144. So then we want to do 144. And then we added 6 numbers, so we would divide by 6. 6 goes into, does not go into 1, but it goes into 14 twice. 6 times 2 is 12. You subtract, you get 2, bring down your 4. 6 goes into 24 4 times exactly. So our mean is 24. So the mean is 24. This is because to find mean, you add all numbers to get 144, then divide by 6 to get 24. And I should put we divide by 6 since we, what's going on down here? Since we added 6 numbers. Sorry, I forgot to include that detail. That would be very important on MCAS. They need to know that you know why you're dividing by 6. Again, so to find mean, we add all the numbers and then divide by the number of numbers we added. All right, so our final part, the student spent time drawing on day 7. The mean number of minutes the student spent drawing was 30. So we know that everything, what's going on here? Everything divided by 7 is going to equal 30. So when we add everything up and divide by 7, because there's 7 days, it's going to equal 30. How many minutes did the student spend drawing on day 7? So the first thing we need to realize is when we already added the numbers before, we got 144, but then we need to add in day 7. 144 plus day 7 divided by 7 would equal 30. So the first thing we're going to undo here is we're actually going to undo the division because in the end, we're dividing by 7, so we're going to undo that by multiplying by 7, which is 210. So now, 144 plus day 7 would be 210. And again, we're multiplying by 7 because in the end, when we're finding the mean, we would be dividing by 7, and we want to work backwards. Okay, so now 144 plus the extra day would be 210. So now we're going to do 210 minus 144. So the student would have read 66 pages on day 7. The student read 66 pages on day 7. This is because everything needs to add up to 210. So when you divide by 7, you get 30. And then I'm going to run out of room, but you would then go on to say you would add the previous 144 that we found and then subtract that from 210 to get 66 left. Again, I know that one's a little bit tricky. We haven't really talked about that. When we get back to school, we're actually going to do a whole lesson on that. So don't super stress about it for now. But for now, you are now going to follow the link it code that is in the Google Classroom assignment. And after that, I will be on Zoom at 10:30 to answer any questions. And again, I am only letting you into Zoom if you've tried the work first. That is the point of the Zoom. It's for questions about the work, not to do the work with me. All right. I will see you guys all later, and I miss you so much. And let me know how you're doing. Send me an email or things like that. I would love to hear from you guys. All right. Bye.